Alright, this is going to be a super impromptu video. This is just a 2-month update on my iPhone 12 Pro Max. So I do have a case on it. I put one on day one. Right now I got the grip case with J-Rig. Everything's unboxed. Tear down skin. So I'm going to take that off real quick. So I definitely would put a case on this because the way the screen is flush against the phone itself looks great. It's very thin, but I don't trust Apple's claims of their new super shatterproof glass. And this being over a $1,000 phone, definitely don't want to break it or put any cracks in it because Apple does not make it easy to replace these screens, and with the new design, it's even harder. One quick note is I do have a Apple credit card now, which I've actually really enjoyed having, so I use it to pay for my phone and watch the monthly payments to make it easier and whatnot. That's the main reason. But I did end up using it with Apple Pay, and I actually like Apple Pay quite a bit. And I don't worry about losing the card because it doesn't have the number on it. It just has my name and the chip. And that's it. Moving on back to the phone. I got it in the blue color, and it still looks awesome. I mean, if I was made of money, I would not put a case on it because I don't like phone cases, and I just carry it like this because it looks great. It is pretty comfortable in the hand. I have, I'd say, average, slightly larger than average hands for a male. So for me, this is fine. If you have small hands or you're females with normal sized female hands, this is not going to be the phone for you. It is huge. The screen looks great when you're watching video and whatnot, but I had a 90 hertz phone before this. And going back to 60, it is noticeable. I mean, it's not a big deal if you've never had it, but once you've had a higher refresh rate screen, you go back, it is very noticeable. I think rumors I read, this was supposed to have a higher refresh rate screen to set it more apart as the Pro, but it ended up having it. So for most people, it's hard to recommend this phone because there is no high refresh rate whatever screen. I mean, if you do a lot of video, then okay, sure, Pro Max is the only option for you really, because the normal Pro doesn't have the same sort of higher quality main shooter as the Pro Max. So it's like the normal Pro is the hardest phone to recommend from Apple. If you do want an iPhone, I would not recommend it at all. I'd say get a normal iPhone or get a Mini. I have a couple of friends who have the Mini and they absolutely love it. Because with this, it takes a day to get used to the big screen. But then every time you go back to a smaller phone now, you're like, wow, how did I ever have a screen this small? Watching Netflix, Hulu, whatever, it's great. If you have large pockets, it's fine. But if you don't, or you have skinnier pants on, not for you. But as a whole, I've really enjoyed having this phone. I like having tech, but I also like having a simple phone since I interact with it so much. And Apple is the best at having their ecosystem all fit together nicely. Having the watch, having the phone, having the Apple Pay, having Apple headphones. I've got Powerbeats Pros. It works together extremely well and it's extremely stress-free. And I cannot say the same for Android. There are better Android phones. There are better Android headphones or just normal headphones. I would say Apple does make the best smartwatch in the game right now, but other than that, no. It's just the fact that everything works so well together, it makes it really hard to not say, hey, if somebody wants this, go for it. If it's just your average non-tech person, get an iPhone. I hate to do it because I hate how Apple sort of traps you into the ecosystem and they sort of give off this air of superiority, and people who own iPhones are better, even though some Android phones are more expensive and nicer. And then, for instance, like nowadays, if you don't have iMessage or the blue bubbles, you're poor, broke, whatever, and I think that's a horrible way to do business and leads to things like monopolies and whatnot. But that's just a totally separate rant. Sorry, back to the phone. It looks great. The battery lasts a long time. It takes really, really good photos. And it seems pretty tough. I mean, I've dropped it a couple times. I work on a construction site as an engineer, so it gets hit a lot. No real scratches. I already broke a screen protector I had on it, and the screen was fine. I'm just going to go without it from now on, just stick with the case. It charges really fast. I want to see this Lightning gone. I miss having a headphone jack, but it is what it is. I don't expect anyone to go back to it. I really wish they had dual SIM for this. because I do have a separate phone I use for work that I'm given by my company, and I'd like to have them on the same thing, so I don't have to carry around one device. But they don't let you do that, which is really annoying because it's not like nobody wants to buy and carry around two phones. It's not like they're missing out on an extra purchase. Same with the Apple Watch. Like, I can't pair this watch with my personal phone and my work phone, which doesn't make any sense. Who the hell's gonna wear two watches at the same time? Nobody. But I'm gonna wrap this up here actually, because I don't want to go too nitty-gritty details. But if you do have any kind of questions, please leave them below. I'll answer them as soon as possible. Now I'm going to leave some photo and video edits and a couple of features that I do like just from screen caps on the phone. Have a good one. So one of the new features that I like, this is more of an iOS feature, is the ability to have a built-in screen recorder, which is great. I don't use any of those really mostly garbage third-party apps. It's got newer widgets. It shows your battery. You can get your battery life down there. You can get your side tray set up how you want it. It feels very snappy, but it could feel way better if it had that 90 hertz screen. Photography is great. I wish it gave you a bit more, editing, or not editing, but settings control in the phone, because as a pro model, I guess it should. Another cool feature that it has you can only do on this or the iPad is because of that LiDAR, you can actually take a 3D scan. This is a separate app. Maybe Apple will add this in themselves. This app is free. I don't know, but it's cool. It doesn't have that many use cases, but you can make 3D models with your phone. And then moving on, another thing that you may want in this Pro is the ability to edit videos with the iMovie. You can do it on other iOS devices, but you really want a bigger screen like this or on an iPad to edit. Editing is good for mostly basic ones. I've actually done a couple of my videos on here if I'm running short on time. You can do voiceovers from the app by just plugging in a microphone like a Yeti through USB. And you can also then save it or share it however you want to from here. So that's it. Thanks for watching.